America right now in mourning, shock, and grief as Las Vegas reels from the deadliest mass shooting in American history. But that's not stopping Democrats from pushing gun control. Hillary Clinton tweeting, quote, "Imagine the deaths if the shooter had a silencer, which the NRA wants to make easier to get. Our grief isn't enough. We can and must put politics aside, stand up to the NRA, and work together to try to stop this from happening again." But is now the right time for politics? Fox News legal analyst Bob Massi, who has lived here for 40 years, joins us live on the Strip right now. Good morning, Steve. What do you think of Mrs. Clinton talking about the NRA?
Well, I mean, I just think she's trying to be relevant in a situation that she shouldn't be relevant in at all. But surely those of us who live here, that's the last thing you want to hear about is politics, the NRA, gun control, and things like that.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, and ultimately, there will be a conversation about gun control. But what gun control law could have stopped a guy from stockpiling all those guns up there, knocking out a window, and then shooting people?
Bad people can get guns anytime they want. I mean, anybody could get guns if they want to. It's just as simple as that.
Not only that, but if he hadn't used a gun, apparently they found in his car ammonium nitrate.
Yeah.
All you need is some fuel oil, and you got an Oklahoma City bomb.
As premeditated as anything I've seen.
All right. You've lived here for 40 years. Yeah. Before we just got started, you were talking about how right over here at the Most Holy Redeemer Shrine and at churches all around Las Vegas, there were special unity services last night at 7 o'clock to pull the town together.
Yeah, such a moving evening. Mass at St. Francis of Assisi, where I went, and other churches all over town. City Hall had a prayer vigil last night. I mean, the town really came together, and very needed, because I was telling you before that I sort of drove around yesterday, went to a couple casinos just to get a sense. I mean, it's so somber, you know, and just quiet, and you could just sense the feeling of the loss that everybody feels, and disbelief, because I have to tell you, it really hasn't settled in yet for us. You know, you're still at that point of trying to figure out how something like this could even happen, so it's still settling in.
But people were on the floors of the casino. They were still putting the money in the slot machine.
They're engaging.
They were going through the motions, but
they were engaging. And I think the other thing, because it's such a tourist town, people that come here to relax and then they experience this, it's just 180 degrees from the reason why they came here, you know.
Yesterday, 24 hours ago, you were on the show when I was in New York, and you were telling us a story about how you heard about what happened right back here through your son.
My youngest son called me and said, "Dad, turn on a television set," and a good friend of ours, my oldest son's couple, was here with 3 other couples. And ultimately, they made it out, made it home safe.
Right.
But when I listened to what they said and how it experienced, it was crazy. Then I learned later, when I went to work, one young girl works for me. She's only 20 years old, Maritza. She actually was here also. I didn't know.
Goodness.
She left 15 minutes before because she was tired and she had to come to work. And her mother called her up and said, "Where are you? Where are you?" I said, "I'm home. I just got home. I left early." And she said, "Turn on the television set." So God was watching over her.
Well, I know the city is in shock, but the city is pulling together. Bob and I were just talking about how there's a GoFundMe page nationwide where I think we're up to about $3 million. But you were talking about fundraising, and Zappos, the shoe folks, stepped into it.
Zappos says whatever's raised. Last night at about 7 o'clock, before that, about $2 million was raised. Zappos said they will match whatever's going to be raised.
Right.
These big companies have stepped up because they love Las Vegas. They know what it means. And a very misunderstood city. You know, it's like you get up and go to work, we get up and go to work. Right. You know, this is another part of what we do. Casinos are an important part, but it's like every place else. There's families, there's kids that play every day and go to school.
Let's end where we started, and that was with the Hillary Clinton tweet about the NRA. What's your message as somebody who has lived in Las Vegas 40 years for politicians who want to politicize this just 36 hours after it happened?
They need to stay away from it. They need to understand what we're going through, and that this is not the venue. This is not the platform to use this. We understand it's a tragedy, and it's the worst massacre in the United States that we've had. It's not the time to do it.
It is not. All right.
Steve, it's good to see you. I'm sorry it's on these terms, buddy.
Yeah, no kidding. All right.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you.